Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to do my top 50. I've been enjoying a lot of people have been posting their top 50 on YouTube. And for me, it's not so much about value as much it is as these are my top 50 favorites this year. And I have a lot of my favorites or my more valuable cards too that are still at ComC. So next year will be a different list, but this is my top 50 this year. And I'm going to go from oldest to newest. And we're going to start out with the number one card in the hobby of all time. And even though it's a little off center, top to bottom, still a nice card from the 1910 T206. Actually, it's just a reprint. But this is a pretty old reprint. This is from 1987. Honus Wagner, value $100,000, 1910 tobacco card. All said about 20 exist. Well, there has been more found, but that's the whole point of this is nobody has this card. Nobody has this card. So you see a lot of top 50, everybody, a lot of people have Mickey Mantle rookie cards. Nobody has this card. Nobody, unless you're, basically you have to be a baseball team owner or somebody like a Wayne Gretzky to even own this card. And that's why this is a nice conversation piece to have. And it's one of my favorite cards, even though it's a reprint. It's from 1987. It's kind of a old reprint, and it's a nice conversation piece. I do have a T206 though, and that is my oldest card. And this one is Harry Davis. And this one it's a little off center, but it does have fairly sharp corners. It's got a crease in it. But fairly sharp corners for a card that is from 1910, over 100 years old. Piedmont, and it says $100. I got this as a kid. This was my number one card as a kid that I had. Who is Harry Davis? Well, Harry Davis is one of baseball's greatest sluggers. One of the most feared sluggers in the dead ball era. Harry won 4 consecutive home run championships from 1904 to 1907. So that's why I have this card. It's nice to have conversation piece, a T206, and I can say one of the best hitters of his era, the dead ball era. Jump to 1935, and this is a Gallagher, I guess it's Gallagher card, and again, decent corners for a card that's from 1935. It's got a little bit of surface issues. I actually got this from ComC, and it was baseball card collector, investor, dealer. It was in his ComC account that I purchased from him on that. And I was a big fan of Laurel and Hardy as a kid. And so nice to pick up that card. Jump to 1958 All-Star, Eddie Mathews. And I'm working on an Eddie Mathews run, especially in the Braves uniform. Most of those that I have are at ComC, but that one I do have. Next one, the 1960 Eddie Mathews. It's got a crease down the middle, but otherwise, nice card. And this Eddie Mathews run that I'm working on is basically, I'm just trying to get cards in any grade, really. And this one is really bad condition, but I thought I got this because it's funny. And so I'm looking for kind of conversation pieces too. And so the chipping was always really bad in this set. And that's what makes this kind of funny if you understand that, because say this is really bad chipping. Um, it's beyond that chipping. I don't even know what happened. 1962 Post cereal, Eddie Mathews. And I'm a Milwaukee collector or Wisconsin sports team collector, and so that's why I'm working on the Eddie Mathews run. I didn't, as a kid, I never had any Braves to say per se or anything like that because I was more interested in Brewers because I wasn't from that era or anything. But Bob Uecker was a Brave. He was the only Brave player that actually kind of had, even though he wasn't in the Braves uniform at the time. But he also is known for being the Brewers announcer, and for all those years, 50 some years as the Milwaukee Brewers announcer. He's also in several um, TV shows and movies, just a little bit outside in Major League. He's known for that. This card I picked up as a kid in part of my childhood collection, and it was a really great looking card. And I um, sent it in for grading. Found out it had, they said, touched up coloring. So basically, somebody used um, Sharpie or something to touch up some coloring or something. That's what was said. I can't see it. I can't see it at all on the card, and but otherwise it's decent corners. Almost look like, almost a near mint card, maybe like in the 7 range. But because of that, that was something that you had to watch out for because you would never know until grading came in. I had bought this before grading really existed. And so people would do things to make their card look better. And you didn't even know. I didn't know for 20 years until sent this in. That's a 1965 Topps. Kind of going back a little bit before that, Oscar Robertson. This is 61-62, but it's really not. It's a reprint card. But I do have an Oscar Robertson run, and this is the representation for that. And definitely, if I was able to trade to get this card, would like to do that. But I'm not going to spend $1,000 or whatever to get the original when I have the reprint here. This is the start of the run, and I have the 69-70 Oscar Robertson, and the Tall Boy. This was part of my childhood collection, as most of these cards were, and that's what started. I started the Oscar Robertson run as a child, probably 7th or 8th grader, and this was part of that collection. '71-'72 I picked up a couple years ago. This one I had in my childhood collection. I really liked about this, even though it's from '71-'72, it was very rare for cards of that era to have a picture on the back. It just had stats and everything, and in this case, a pretty nice looking picture. Action shot there. So you have picture on the front and kind of a nice picture on the back. I really like that. Something different that they didn't have. Plus, it's a tall boy, and of course, something unique in basketball cards, those tall boys. So we got 3 tall boys. And I got the book here, Oscar Rovertson, the Big O. My favorite picture of all time was that getting a rebound. He never dunked the basketball, Oscar Rovertson, but could really jump and was very athletic. That was part of his game. He didn't do that. That wasn't something he would do. Next card is a card I picked up as part of the run, and this is kind of hard to get. This card, number 1, in good condition, and it's hard to get. But so this one isn't in great shape. If you can get it, but it's kind of pricey. Just picked up that as kind of a filler for the run. This next card was part of my childhood collection, and this one is in nice shape. Definitely worth grading. Just haven't got it done. As well as this card. This card is even better condition. As I'm looking at it, slightly off center, left to right. Other than that, very nice condition. And the last card of his run right here, not a big fan of these action photos here, but it is what it is. Part of that era in the 70s basketball cards. The early 70s, I like those. And then this has kind of one of my favorite cards because of Oscar and Kareem combo card there. And I really enjoy having that. And so, only card I'm really missing is the rookie card. And in that same 61-62 Fleer set, there is the in action. So those 2 cards are cards I'm missing for that run of Oscar Rovertson. He doesn't have that many cards, so I figured it'd be a pretty easy run to put together. Kind of some throw-ins. This is a little bit earlier, but one of my favorite cards is the Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Wes Unseld. 3 really great players there, rebound leaders. And these leader cards, I do have more. I've got the Kareem, some of his leader cards from the 70-71 set, but I didn't include that in my top 50. This card is in pretty good condition and probably worth grading. And I'll show these together. More leader cards, the rebound leaders and the scoring leaders. We got Wilt Chamberlain, Elvin Hayes, and Lou Alcindor. And then for the scoring leaders, Lou Alcindor, Elvin Hayes, and John Havlicek. Some more leader cards. This one is probably my favorite card. The 75 Robin Yount. And this is my childhood card that I haven't upgraded. It's got a little bit of corner, stuff going on, a little bit of surface stuff, but it's pretty well centered and just my favorite card of all time. And as a childhood card, this is my favorite card, but plus that's why I don't upgrade it, because just remember this card. And great card, my favorite card as a kid, and still probably number 1 card. In that same set is the Hank Aaron. I'm working on, and I kind of have completed the Hank Aaron in a Brewers uniform. Most of those cards are in Comp C. This is another one part of that Hank Aaron run in the Brewers uniform. It says 75, but I believe this is a 76 SSPC. Back to Kareem and basketball. This is 77, 78. And it's in pretty decent. Those cards are, they say, in the 70s, 7. So it's kind of in line with that. Same with this. I've got two of the same card. But he went to the Lakers, but still um, a great card. As a kid, too, I had the Molitor Trammell rookie card. Unfortunately, it had a gum stain on the back, but I had set up as a kid to sell my cards at different garage sales, stuff like that. Never sold very many cards, but the one card I did sell was, obviously they cherry picked your best cards, and that was one of my best cards that I had. So I ended up selling that as a kid. So I got it back after I got back into the hobby in 2021. So now I got a couple of them. Marcus Johnson, rookie card. He is again up for the Hall of Fame. He's been up for the Hall of Fame several times, never made it in, but he's in the movie White Man Can't Jump, and he is a Bucks broadcaster, TV analyst, and was a great basketball player. One of the first point forwards ever. He scored a ton of points coming out of college, which he's in the College Hall of Fame. Scored a ton of points coming out of college in his first or second year, and then the coach told him to be more of a team player and stuff like that. And instead of they didn't, so he wasn't able to really blossom as a superstar, but still enjoy having this rookie card. Going into the 80s now. Here's an 80s Kareem, 81, 82 tops. And the Dr. J. One of my favorite cards as a kid was the 83 Fleer Tony Gwynn rookie card. And we're going in order of year. So I have a couple Reggie White cards, including my childhood rookie card of Reggie, which was kind of beat up. I got another one that is in better condition. To go along with that Tony Gwynn, I got Kirby Puckett rookie card. And so we're going to jump through a little bit to 1990, and this is Frank Thomas in a 10 rookie card. $1990, we have a Bart Starr signed card and Terry Bradshaw signed card. I did pick up a Bart Starr 69 tops that is in really good condition on ComC, and that will be in my top 50 next year. Favorite cards and everything, but don't have it with me this year. Next card, 90. We're going to 90, 92 Upper Deck, the Dion SP, the short print of Coach Prime there in the baseball and football. Got some odd in the 1990, I would say 93 or 90, so probably 1993, but when I was doing this, sending in a lot of cards for autographs, and got this one back, Don Newcomb, who is, if you know, one of the greats. And it's kind of strange here. He signed the sleeve of the card, and then he tried to sign the card itself too. So with a pen or something different. So it's a little bit weird, and the card looks just like he bent it or something on purpose to make it not valuable, but yet it's weird, but it's unique and nice to have. Same lines, Yogi Berra. This one's faded because it was in my showcase for 20 some years when the sun was getting into it. That's unfortunate. Why do I have a 92, 93 Fleer Larry Bird as part of my top 50? Because it is signed on the back, and this is through the mail as well, that same era, and he smudged it almost on purpose, similar to the Don Newcomb bending the card. Probably, I have to say, Larry Bird, because of his personality, would do that on purpose. And it makes it funny, though. It makes it a nice conversation piece. And to get a Larry Bird signed card through the mail was pretty nice as a kid, and nice memory. This one along the same lines. Roberto Alomar and Sandy Alomar Jr. dual signed, and through the mail dual signed. So I don't even remember how that came about. I sent it to one and then sent it to another, or I just sent it to one and his brother happened to be there and signed it too or something. I don't know. But one of my favorite cards. And of course, my first favorite basketball player was Shaq. Was like a football player playing basketball, shattering glass backboards, pulling down the whole backboard unit was just amazing. And then just the power play that he played with, the force. And I had those shoes. So this is a nice card. And the basketball court, I just love the Orlando Magic. The paint that they had, the way they, it was something new. They didn't have that. They didn't used to paint the courts like that. So just a fun time. And this was a trade card, which I had a redemption, sent it in. Didn't great, it doesn't come back that good of shape, but nice memory. You get the redemption, you send it in the mail, and they send you the card back. This one's in better shape. I did buy complete set as a kid, and the Topps Shaq rookie. Probably my most valuable card is this one here. This is a Derek Jeter pre-rookie, and I was a part of the Classic Collectors Club, and it was kind of expensive as a kid to join this, and this was one of the first things that they sent out. They would send out cards periodically or promotional things, some autographs and stuff too. This was like a 25 card set and Derek Jeter was included. The reason why it's valuable is because these cards were very susceptible to chipping, the blue borders, and this card looks really fantastic. It's very gradable. It's at least a 9. I'm hoping this is a 10. And in a 10, I've seen these because there's not many of them. Even though they printed 25,000 these cards, which seems like a lot, that was in 1992. That was not a lot. And also the chipping on, like I said, the chipping on the sides, corners, made this very hard to get in a top condition. And there's no chipping on this. So I'm going to send it into grading at some point, and we'll see. I do have the other 93 Topps Derek Jeter rookie card. More autographs, Cecil Fielder. Would really like to get a Prince Fielder autograph at some point. And along the same lines with that Jeter, these are presidential C3 and a die cut C3 promo cards. This one's out of 5,000 and this one is out of 10,000, but for some reason they're not as valuable as what I think they should be. I don't know, for some reason Alex Rodriguez, he doesn't have, people don't like him. But if, I mean, and obviously, you know, the steroid issue, but he has 600 some home runs, almost 700, and one of the best baseball players ever. As a kid, I was a Glenn Robinson super collector, you might say, and this is a couple of his better insert cards, has rookie year inserts, and this is the N-Tense, which has that Jordan in it. That's, you probably seen. You may not have seen this one though, the Glenn Robinson, and this is the Rack Pack. It's a tough insert to get. You know, it's not. I don't know if it's pretty hard to get. I'm pretty sure. So at one point, this was a very expensive card, the Rack Pack card. Got another Glenn Robinson card. It's a refractor. And the final card in my top 50 is a Barry Bonds on base leaders from the 95 Fleer Ultra set gold medallion. So this is what makes this, it's an insert, but it's a parallel of an insert. And it's in really good condition too. So I'm going to have it graded at some point. And don't have a lot of like kind of like top inserts from the 90s, but this was probably the best one that I have. And so that is my top 50. Obviously not really super valuable cards, but fun cards. And next year I'll have more valuable ones. But this is my top 50 this year, and fun to put it together as an average collector. Most of these cards, probably 90% or more, came from my original childhood collection. And I haven't spent a ton of money upgrading or adding new cards because I like the cards that I had as a child. So, but I am picking up some more. And next year it will be a different list. But this is my list for 2024. Thanks for watching. Visit my channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.